Alright, right. I've had this little guy for a month now, so this is like a 4 week review and thoughts about Lumia. I did one after I've had it for a week. I like to do another one a bit further down the line when I've lived with the quirks. Some of you might be wanting to get this for Christmas or for your next upgrade. So just a couple of tips or a couple of thoughts, and you're probably not going to like it if you like the phone or if you're thinking of getting it, because to be honest, I'm not really keen on it. In fact, I've given it a fair go, but I find that I'm constantly complaining to myself about it. I've said this in my 1 week review. It's pretty to look at, but essentially you have two lists, and if it makes a din, that means sorry, I'll say that in English. If it makes a noise and a notification goes off, like that noise then on my other phone, straight away I can just bring down the top and see what it is. With this, if you're doing anything else or you don't have the app on the front screen, you miss it. I also find that the battery's quite erratic. Some days it'll last quite a while, other days it'll plummet like mad. And because you can't tell what's going on in the background, you just can't. You can see a battery meter, but you don't know what's using it, you don't know what's not using it. I've turned the screen sensitivity down, I've turned the screen brightness down, which kind of negates the whole having a brilliant, vibrant, bright screen to me. The size of it, it's manageable, but it's quite thick and heavy compared to the slimmer phones that I'm used to, and it sort of drags the old gym pants down a little bit. Call quality is alright if you're using it as a phone. Keyboards, I'm finding it fiddly. You can't turn off auto rotate. The App Store itself is fairly barren, like I said before, and it's. I'm not saying that. I know it's really negative, this, but a phone's supposed to be. I'm not saying a phone necessarily has to be exciting, but it just needs to be sort of practical and functional. If you don't like Facebook and you don't like Twitter, to be honest, you're not really going to get a great deal of use out of this thing. I say the App Store is quite barren. The only thing that I'll say is good about the App Store, really, is when you want to try a game. Oh, so I think you have to go in through Xbox. You can actually preview things. I think this applies to all apps actually. You can try it before you buy it. I think that's really, really good. I quite like that. I like the music player. I like the Nokia music. I think that's quite good as well. It's a nice little mixed radio. You can download things offline and try them. That's really good. Music, the sound quality in the headphones is really good and loud. I quite like the picture tile. Sort of slowly shows you the pictures you've taken over time, and you can pop that to jump straight in. Camera's good, but it's not as good as they make it out to be. They make it out to be this fantastic, like, complete replacement of a pocket camera, and it's not. In fairness, to be honest, it's good, but I don't know. It just seems to take a little while to start up, and obviously that's a close-up of a table. Tap to focus always takes a picture. Now, if I just tap that little back button there, can I zoom into that? I mean, it's obviously going to be blurred because it's right in front of the table. That's not a fair comparison. The point being is the camera's just, you can't like burst quite a few shots out. I find when I'm using the Samsungs, etc., I want to knock a few shots out to see what, like, especially if you're catching something actiony, and I don't know, you can't seem to do that. I mean, tap to focus will take a picture. That flash is obviously, well, maybe not so obvious, is for the low light, which they harp on about. And where is it? So exposure. There is focus assist light, so you can turn that off, but it's not the same as having a flash on. When you put the flash on, it obviously flashes at the time of the picture, but the focus assist light actually bounces into the dark, and then it allows you to take the shot. Now, you can get some exceptional low light photographs. I mean, you'll take a picture in the dark, and let's have a look, see if we've got any in there. So here's my old mate Johnson. these pictures were taken in a extremely low light in a pub, but it's unnatural. I mean, it was so much darker than that, so it gives the pictures quite a lot of character, but I don't know, there's just some, it's not very flat and very vibrant. When you get them off here on the screen, there's a strange dullness to them. And like I said, sometimes you just want to just go snap, snap, snap with the Galaxy or the Samsung models or even the iPhone. You can just punch the camera button, just take loads and then pick the best one. And it has options like best shot and things like that, but you know, you have to slowly take 5 pictures and then it'll choose the best faces and things like that. But I don't know, fairly barren app store. It's just, I don't know, the marketing and the hype for it, I thought it was going to be great. Now, I'm not so much blaming the hardware. I think a lot of it is the actual Windows 8 platform. It just feels like there's too much missing from it for me. I think, I mean, you can shoot me down and say that I'm talking rubbish and that Android's terrible and iPhones are better. I expect all that. I'm used to that. I don't mind. I like to buy something, try it, and if it's good, keep it. If it's not, don't keep it and get something else. So I just find it uninspiring, bit of a letdown. I don't know what's missing. It's quite hard for me to say. When you compare it to an Android phone, it's a case of, well, what's better? Yeah, you can customize more, but you can customize this quite nicely as well. You can sort of rearrange these tiles into the shapes and sizes that you want, but I'm not sure. I think it all, to me, it really boils down to the notifications. Not being able to just, I mean, and even that, the fact that you can't see your signal and your Wi-Fi, that you're on silent and your battery, without just pulling it down. So if you're in Nokia Drive, for instance, the sat-nav, which you saw in my video if you watched the last one, it's a great little sat-nav application. Due to changes in the new version of Drive, some of your voice files are incompatible. Okay, let's update it now. Not entirely sure what it means by that. So while it installs that, I don't think I can do anything, can I? Let's go back into it. So there's my GPS. So I just want to pull down the battery or the signal. If I got a text or something pops, yeah, you see the banner at the top. But again, with Android, you can just, whilst you've got the sat-nav on, whilst you're watching a YouTube video, whilst you're surfing the web, you can bring down the notifications halfway, look at where they are, drop them back up again. With this, if you miss that initial noise, it's a game of, right, what was that? Where is it? Things like WhatsApp Messenger as well, it keeps telling me that I need to verify it again. There's little issues like that with apps that don't seem to be written as well. And the sat-nav is good, but it kind of drops you off in the general area. It doesn't pinpoint you like Google Maps seems to. But again, yeah, sorry if you were expecting, I mean, I'm like you, I was expecting it to be phenomenal. I've not had Windows Phone 7 and I've always liked the look of it. I think it looks really cool, it's really slick. But believe it or not, these little animations that only take a split second to happen do start to get quite irritating. It's like, come on, get off. I just want to jump into this, jump into that. So, all in all, I'd probably give it a 4 out of 10. I think if you're jumping across from iOS, you won't notice that much of a difference. But the freedom you get with your Android phones, I think that spoilt me. I really wanted to like it. I wanted it to be in my main phone. I didn't actually intend to buy the Note 2. I had my sights set on this because I thought I really like the direction they've taken with it. I really like what it's doing. But it's just uninspiring, and I know a phone's not supposed to be an exciting thing, but I don't see myself using it. I might leave it for a little while to see if they release an update or anything, but I don't know what they can do to make it any different, any better, unless they radically redesign the way notifications work. And I don't know what it is, but it was a good try, good effort, and I'm sure there's people that absolutely love it. And I just think if you're jumping across from Android, like I thought I was going to be doing, I think you'll regret it. There'll be people that have jumped across from Android that don't regret it, that think it's great. This is just my thoughts, and again, I've owned it for a month, I've taken it with me everywhere, I've used it over the Note 2 to try and get to grips with it and get familiar with it, fully understand it, and they release a lot of updates for it in the App Store. You do get a lot of software updates, and it is a slick experience, but you do find yourself, I do find myself waiting for a lot of things. Find a lot of apps aren't written particularly nicely for it. Again, that reason I gave you the other day, when you're in the Facebook app, these little dots, you get them across the top there, it refreshes the feed, and you scroll down it, you click on an image, you get the dots, and it's working quite quickly on Wi-Fi there. And every time you come back out, the dots will come across again. It'll check, I don't know if you can see that, and if anything else has happened in that meantime, it will shoot you right back up to the top. Now Facebook is a bad example because it's always a naff app, but I don't know, it feels extra naff on this. And I do find myself waiting for stuff. As you know yourself, you want to pull your phone out your pocket, check your messages, and you can do all that without even opening an app on an Android. You can just whip down the notifications. When I wake up in the morning, I've got all the same accounts on both phones. I go straight to the Android, pull the drop down there. Right, I've got 10 emails on that account, 4 emails on that account, 3 notifications on that, and it consolidates everything together. And I think your phone sort of keeps you in touch, keeps you up to date. And this, just the way it's spread out and the way it does it, it frustrates me a bit. So, sorry if that's offended anybody, and I'm sure it has. I'm sure a lot of people will be telling me I'm completely wrong, but at least I have the decency to try these things for a month before I work out that I don't like them. Like I say, I'll keep hold of it for a bit, but no doubt it's probably going to be getting replaced. Take care now. Bye bye then.